Breaking WWE Talent News. WWE announced Bray Wyatt has been released. WWE has come to terms on the release of Bray Wyatt. We wish him the best in all his future endeavors, WWE wrote. It was recently reported that WWE was keeping Wyatt off TV for the time being for reasons that were not related to creative. He had been away from the ring since WrestleMania 37, losing to Randy Orton. He made an appearance on Raw the next night for a Firefly Fun House segment, indicating he was getting ready for a fresh start. Earlier this week, a photo was shown of Bray Wyatt looking to be in great shape. Wyatt first signed with WWE back in 2009. Along with the Wyatt Family and the Fiend storyline, Wyatt was a one-time WWE Champion and two-time WWE Universal Champion. Wyatt was told by John Laurinaitis that his departure was due to budget cuts, and said it was nothing that Bray had done to cause his departure, according to F4W Online. Wyatt is among a string of stars who have been released as of late for the same reason. Former on-screen partner Alexa Bliss has taken to Twitter to thank Wyatt, whose real name is Wyndham Rotunda, for his contributions to both the company and her personally. "I am really at a loss for words," Bliss wrote. "Thank you so much for everything you have done for this company. The most fun I have had is working with you. Such an amazing talent and the most kind person. I am just in shock." Bliss made her Twitter account private shortly after the tweet. Bliss had been linked to Wyatt on WWE TV since last summer, when she made a cameo as Sister Abigail in Wyatt's cinematic match with Braun Strowman at the horror show at Extreme Rules. From there, Bliss would have a complete makeover, ditching her traditional ring gear for attire inspired by The Fiend. While Wyatt was off television, Bliss appeared on Raw Weekly, taunting Orton and attempting to resurrect The Fiend. Bliss would accompany The Fiend at WrestleMania, but would turn on him and cost him the match. Does this mean a character change for Alexa Bliss is coming soon? In regards to Vince McMahon and Wyatt, they were said to have a very hot and cold relationship. Wyatt's 90-day non-compete clause runs out a week before AEW Full Gear on November 6th. Many in the industry took to social media to vent about the situation, from Braun Strowman to Chelsea Green to Mickie James, who has been outspoken about how WWE treats their released talent on their exits. And she took to Twitter and said, "I think what you meant to say was, thank you so much for coming up with such an incredible gimmick time and time again. One so cool and over. We really didn't know how to book it right," James wrote. "So we just gave it to someone else so we can still make all the money off of it and let you go." Mickie also clarified her tweet later on, noting she meant no disrespect to Alexa Bliss, who is the someone else James was referring to when mentioning how WWE gave Wyatt's gimmick away. "This isn't against Alexa, I love her," James wrote. "She's an incredible performer who is killing it in a role she was given. She always does. We as artists take every role we are given and turn it into gold. He, she, they both did that, like it or not." Considering how well Wyatt had been for merchandise sales in the recent years, many are wondering how you can budget cut someone who essentially brings in revenue and adds to your budget. The Fiend version of Bray was especially successful with t-shirt and action figure sales. It is being reported by Fightful Select that during a recent round of cuts, Wyatt's name was actually brought up along with other wrestlers, but the company decided to keep them. Fightful also noted the following: "Wyatt was getting protective of his character after what was seen as poor creative decisions and ideas thrown his way, though many members of the team didn't speak to Wyatt directly." During a Fightful podcast, Sean Ross Sapp commented on the creative situation with Wyatt. "When things were passed his way that he wasn't necessarily keen on, I don't want to say vocal, but he wasn't receptive to it from the people that I spoke to as well." So what are your thoughts on the shocking release of Bray Wyatt? And what promotion would you like to see him continue his wrestling career? Let us know all your thoughts in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more from Sidenote Suplex.